Yeah. Hi, Saurabh. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. What about you, sir?
I'm good too. Thank you. So can you tell me something about yourself?
Okay, so good evening, Rakesh. Myself, Saurabh Yadav. I'm from Pune. I'm completing my master's in computer application from
Mhm.
university. Throughout my academics, I can learn a lot of technology, but my core interest in software testing. Also, I can complete one of the training come internship program in my final semester from one of the training institute in Exploratory solution. In this 6 month of program, I can my roles and responsibilities to is in manual testing to create the test cases, create the scenarios, report the defects, and retest the defects, and that's all a responsibility during my internship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So what is the difference between a test case and a test scenario?
Okay, so the test scenario, it is a high level requirement,
Hmm.
and test case is a detailed description about any functionality.
Hmm.
In test scenario, we can create high level requirement. It
Hmm.
is a single line requirement, where in test case, it is a detailed description and step by step representation of any functionalities. Also, in test case, there are suspected result and actual results are there in test cases.
Hmm.
That's the core difference between test scenario and test case.
Okay, fine. So now I'll share my screen. Hmm. Okay. So is my screen visible to you?
Yeah, it is
Hmm.
visible.
Yeah. So what is this? This is an website which is of HDFC Bank. So this is hdfcbank.com. This is a website. And consider a scenario now that you are joining the company as a fresher, right? So you are a fresher. So you are joining the company as a fresher. This is their website. This is their one of the project in which they have to perform testing. Okay. So as you are a fresher, so what they will do is they'll give you the training. They'll give you those kind of training sessions would happen. KTs would happen, and they'll also give you website to do some kind of exploratory testing because you have a fresh perspective. You'll be looking this kind of website for the very first time. So can you tell me high level test scenarios for this website? As of now, you don't have any requirements. You don't have any kind of documentation, right? So how would you test it?
Okay,
What are the test scenarios that are coming to your mind?
okay. So as I can see the HDFC Bank web
Hmm.
application.
Hmm.
Okay, so the first scenario is about the header section of the web application.
Hmm.
Okay. After that, after header, we can see the search box in search box functionality. After we can see here are the I think okay.
This one?
So
Yeah.
yeah, there is a one kind of I think see the login button, login
Hmm.
functionality are there. Also,
Hmm.
there is one kind of advertising banner we can see
Hmm.
here,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
rotating, which is sliding from left to right. Also, there we can see one of the uh, marquee tag are there. Okay. After that, we can see another header bar of home page,
Hmm.
home page, save, interest, borrow, and insurance. Also, here we can sliding down, we can see the footer.
Hmm.
Also, we can
Then.
yeah, there is a footer.
Hmm.
Scroll up,
Here, yeah. Footer links are there. Okay, so you'll verify them.
footer link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, there is a login button.
Hmm.
Inside login button, we can have the register functionality also. So we can also explore this.
Mm-hmm. What
Also, here
else?
are the different options for a personal, NRI, SME, wholesaler, and agri.
Then what else?
Then after in home tab, also we can see the uh, different functionalities under there. In home also you can have pay options, save options, invest, borrow, insurance, shop. So that are the different scenario we have to create on the web page.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
What?
according to the different scenario, we can create a number of test cases in positive and negative way also.
Right, right. So let's say if you get this question in a real-time interview that Saurabh, you have to test this website, right? So every time you have to start those test scenarios and you have to start with a key words like verify. Verify login functionality is working, verify search is working for the text that you are entering. Also, you can see phone also, as you can see the mic option here, right? So you'll verify that if you are speaking something from the mic and then you are searching, so it should work, right? So those
Okay,
kind of, so verify these links are working, verify these options are working. So those kind of scenarios you have to tell every time in an interview. Whenever you make a start, go from the top to the bottom. So at the top you are seeing the screens, you are seeing login button, you are seeing those tabs, then cover search, then cover this kind of messages. See, these messages are also very important. This is what? This is a maintenance message, system maintenance message. They are having some system maintenance and you can test them. So let's say you are given a website and you are getting this kind of maintenance, then what you will do? You will have a word with your test manager, you will have a word with your test leads and talk to them. Sir, I am getting this kind of a message. Are we having this website maintenance today, or was this maintenance there yesterday and someone has forgotten to remove the maintenance message? That can also happen, right?
okay,
The maintenance was there in the last night and somehow it got it, currently also that maintenance message is coming up. So what are the reason for that? Is the site still down? So those kind of things you can ask. Then you can see the other options that you have. You have contact us, you have net banking options, you have offers. You'll verify all these offers are redirecting you to their own pages itself. Let's say if it's a WhatsApp banking. So is it like if you click on this particular option or link, is it taking you to the details of the WhatsApp itself? It should not happen. When you click on this link, it is taking you to the wealth creation or mobile banking kind of an options, right? So those links
yeah,
should be working. Then you'll verify the UI UX things. You'll verify all these footer links. I think you covered. You'll verify this chat box is working fine or not. Right? This is a chat
yeah,
box. You'll enter
yes,
your random messages. You'll see what are the responses that you are getting. Right? You'll
okay,
verify in
right,
different browsers and then you will test it. Okay. So such kind of
okay,
things you can tell in an answer. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Hmm. Consider one more scenario based question itself will take. See, you are being assigned one task one of writing test cases of, let's say, login functionality of HDFC Bank. Now, your lead comes to you and he assigns one more task to you that you are supposed to test the search functionality of HDFC Bank. Okay. Then what will you do? You have now two tasks in your plate. Then what will you do?
okay. So firstly, I can understand the requirement.
Hmm.
The first task is to write the test cases of login functionality of HDFC Bank. So I can clarify the requirement, the what kind of the things are in login functionality. There is a username or password. There is also one kind of button. So I can get the clarity about which attributes are there in the login functionality for login. Also, I can try to writing a test cases on login functionality with positive and negative scenario, both the ways. Then the login functionalities we can know that there is a username, password, and login button, and forget password button are there in the page login page. So firstly we can test the password with valid valid credentials, username and password with invalid credentials. Okay, then we can password with the we can if we try to enter a wrong username and password, we can test verify whether it can give the proper error handling message or not. Okay, then try to log in with empty credentials, verify whether it can give the proper error message or not. uh, correct the username and we can enter the wrong password and try to log in. After we can enter correct password and wrong username and try to log in. Okay. Then
So you are
this
telling
type of
test scenarios for login functionality. You are
yes, sir.
telling test scenarios. Okay. Okay. See, you have two tasks in your plate. So which task you need to start first? That you will have to identify, right?
Okay.
See, your lead, what he has done is he has assigned first this task to you. On the second day, he has assigned this task to you. So you need to have a conversation with them. What you will do, you will communicate to them that
Okay.
let's say his name is Rakesh. So you'll tell them, Rakesh, see, I am already working on this task one that is still progress. 50% is in progress, 50% is pending. So do you want me to take up task two at now at the priority, or should I wait for task one to get completed and then I should go for task one? Right? You cannot work on two
Yeah.
tasks simultaneously. You can be a
Okay.
multitasking person, but first, I would suggest you to be completing one task first, right? Once your task one is completed, then you should take task two. Or else, if task two is assigned to you, then get that clarity with your lead or manager that you're assigning me task two, my task one is still in progress. Should I jump to task two, leaving this task one here itself? And then after task two completes, then I should take task one, or should I complete task one and then I need to take task two, right? So those kind of clarity you have to take. Now, coming to those cases. So yeah, the cases that you were telling, valid username, valid password, invalid username, invalid password, vice versa, those things, those are right. But how you will start? What will be your starting point? What would be your starting point? You will write the test cases. How you will write the test cases?
Firstly, create the scenarios,
Right,
then write
right.
the test case.
Correct. So you have to come up with the test scenarios first. It is very important. So you remember the first question that I asked you, what is the difference between test scenarios and test cases? What is test scenario? Test scenario is a high level
Okay.
documentation that you are doing, what you need to test. Test cases are a detailed level of documentation, what you need to test. So you have test scenarios, you have test cases, but from test scenarios, you would be deriving the test cases. So what you can do is you can come up with the test scenarios, you can get them reviewed first with your leads. Otherwise, what would happen? You will create the test cases out of your test scenarios. But if your test scenarios are not foolproof enough, then they will identify the problems with your test cases as well. But then your work will get duplicated. See,
Okay.
you have to go for a smart work. You don't have to do much of the hard work. Things are very simple, but it is our responsibility to make it simple. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Test scenarios, get them reviewed, get their approval first on test scenarios, then go for test cases. So let's say even if the changes come, the changes, the things would be minimal because they have already reviewed your test scenarios, no?
Uh,
Right? Okay. So
right.
test scenarios, you will get it reviewed now from test scenarios. Once you get, so there can be two things. Okay. All test scenarios are good. Okay, fine. Those are good. You'll proceed ahead. Test scenarios are having some issues. So then update your test scenarios. Again, send for approval. Then come up with the test cases. Once your test scenarios are done, then go with the test cases. Now, what is your starting point with the test cases? What is your starting point?
Verify the page is present or not.
Verify the,
Login page. Login page is proper loading or not.
we'll come to that also. But before that, what is important is the template of the test cases. What is the
Yeah, yeah.
documentation? How, so which are the different columns that you will have in the test cases? So can you create one template of the test case? Can you share your screen?
Yes,
Can you mention which are the different columns that you will have in the test cases? How would be the template look like? Can you share your screen? Can you click on share screen button?
okay, sir, I will share.
Mm.
Is that visible, sir?
Yeah. Top mate call is visible. Can you go to that any test case template? Yeah, how you will write the test cases.
Okay, sir. So I have sample test case template here.
Okay, great. So can you explain these columns?
Okay, sir. The first column is test case ID. We can give the test case ID for every unit test case. After that, here we have test scenario ID. So to understand which test belong from the which test scenarios. After that, we have a test case title here. Then we can give the priority column for the test case. After we have test case design steps, it is a step by step for the particular test case.
So what is
After we have a
priority? Yeah.
precondition column.
Sorry to interrupt. What is priority column here? What does that stand for?
Yeah, the priority is the importance for the test cases. If we find a defect in any test case, we can report this defect as its priority.
Yeah. Sorry, can you please come again?
Yeah. If any case is a test case is failed, okay,
Hmm.
so we can report the defect. To understand the priority of this defect, we have to introduce this column.
Okay. Now, if you see your test steps, so your test steps, you are writing launch the browser, enter the URL, click on search button. So this is a test step for searching something in an e-commerce website, right? If you see your test steps,
Oh, yes.
now, if you are verifying the position of the top header, then you don't have to click on search button, right? You just have to launch the browser. You will enter your credentials, username, password. You'll click on login button, and you will see the header that is coming at the top right, right? So you will have to update your test steps in this case.
Okay, sir.
Hmm? Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Please proceed. Yeah.
Then after that, the precondition, which means our the application is open. Okay, it
Hmm.
is a precondition for our
Precondition. Okay.
in case. Okay. After that, their input, we cannot give any input. Then there is expected result. What expected result should be? We have expect from this test cases. Then there is the actual result. Then there is the status. So we cannot test this. We can just write to test cases for my sample purpose and the
So
tester name.
what does input column stands for?
Input columns which we can give the input. Suppose we have a login functionality or login functionality. So we can give the input such as our username. So that kind of input we can give.
Okay. Then your expected result, actual result. Then what does status stands for?
Status stand for the result of test cases, which is the status is pass or fail.
Okay. But do you think there can be any other status to the test case? Any other
No,
test case? Any other status? It might happen that the status of the test case is in progress. Maybe you are executing the test case, but then you have to further execute them. It can be in the status can be in progress, or the
yes, sir. It
status
is.
can be blocked as well. Let's say you have a defect because of which, let's say you have a this e-commerce website itself. You have to test the search functionality is working or not, but your login itself is not working. So because of that login issue, you are blocked to test this particular test case or test step, I would say. Hmm? So
Yes.
it can happen. Then what are comments for?
Comments for any suppose we have to comment what this any problem we have occurred during this test case. We can just maintain comments our own thoughts or our comments regarding this test test case.
Okay, okay, great. So you
So
will
there is
take
a
the
defect.
template from them. You'll take the template from your leads, and then you will start the writing test cases.
Okay, sir. It is my own template, so I can make according to myself,
Yeah.
according to my
So
understanding.
yeah. So in a company, when you will be joining the company, they will be having their test case templates that they would have got the approval from their clients, from their stakeholders. Hmm. So you don't have to use your own test case template. They will give you the test case template and same templates we have to use. Okay. But this is a good
Okay.
start. This is actually a good thing. At least you have this clarity, that will be very good. Just in that, can you scroll up? Can you scroll up a bit? Up, scroll up. Yeah. In the E column, what are these things? Date created, date reviewed. Okay. When did you create this test case? When did you get this test case reviewed? Okay. All these details you have to fill up. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Fine. So I'll stop your screen. Okay. Yeah. Tell me the difference between regression testing and the retesting.
Okay, so retesting it is a test the case again. Suppose if there is a defect is happening in test case, and developer can resolve this defect and send back to the tester to test. That can we can retest it, and the regression is the testing is already tested functionality is called a regression testing. So suppose we have worked in different modules are there in a project. Suppose a new module or the new functionality can added in the already built functionality or module. So we have to test that whether the added functionality which will be affected our previous functionality or not. So that can we can test throughout all the functionality uh,
Hmm.
throughout all the functionality. So that called as regression testing. Suppose any major defect is resolved. Also, there are some change requirement are happen from the client side. So at that time, we can doing a regression testing to check the already built is stable or not.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah. So now can you give me a defect with a high severity and low priority?
I say very written low priority.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, suppose if I think the position of the logo. I think the
Hmm.
suppose there is a one of the web application
Hmm.
of the company, and the position of the logo is maybe the changing or not in proper position.
Hmm.
So it does not affect the business because the logo is correct, but their position is I think is not at the appropriate. So it affects not affect the business loss, but it's the priority because these applications are visited a lot of people.
So that
So
would be an
maybe it will
example
affect
of high priority, low severity, right?
low severity.
Branding of the application is getting impacted. The logo issue is there. What about high severity but low priority?
Uh, high severity.
Hmm.
Suppose there is a one of the page, the page, the text or page name.
Hmm.
Okay. Suppose logout page and there is only log, or there are some kind of mistakes in the spelling. It is easily defined by the identified by the customers.
So that also would be a high severity, high priority because you have that on the login page itself, right? You have that spelling mistake you are telling, right? That would be a kind of a high priority, I would say, and low severity. High severity, low priority. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. So you can put the example of a defect which are high severity but low priority in the comment section of the video, right? Yeah, Saurabh. So I am done with the interview. Thank you so much for coming today for the mock interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Uh, yes, sir. The
Hmm.
as a intern, I can in, as an intern, I can enter in any organization. So as a first, how my roles and responsibility on my first, second, or third day,
Hmm. Hmm.
if I can
So,
join any
So
organization.
in the initial days, what would happen is you would be given the training, you would be given the product knowledge, you would be given the application knowledge, the project knowledge in which your team or in which you have to work with your team, right? So you would be given that kind of knowledge. Then what would happen is you would be given an access to the defect management tool, to the test case management tool, or you would be given the test cases so that you can write your test cases as well. Then you would be given some kind of an induction trainings would happen. You would come to know, okay, who is your lead, who is your manager, in which team you have to work, what will be the domain of the project, those kind of things. So this then access to the applications would be given. So this would take 1 or 2 weeks basically.
Okay,
Right? Yeah. Okay then,
okay,
Saurabh. Thank you so much. And you can book one more call on Top Meet when we'll be connecting for automation and with Java. So keep 30 minutes for each one of them because in 30 minutes we cannot cover manual, automation, Java, everything, right?
okay,
So keep 30 minutes of slots, right?
okay, sir.
Yeah.
I will try in the next one.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be happy to connect with you and wish you all the best for your career.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.